Okay, right here we have plyometrics, which is really important. This is a really hard workout, especially doing it with the jump soles. We just making sure the technique is good, making sure when you explode, you're going with your momentum and your upward motion with the hands is really critical to the proper jumping technique. What you see, you get the max height when you bring your arms back and then you go up into the swing of the peak of the jump, and it's so important. So right here we doing the one-legged hops, which is really good for the balance and then for the strength training of that leg too that you're working on. So right here she's doing it in the jump sole, so as you can see she has to definitely strengthen that left leg right there and then kind of land it and stick it on the landing, but landing really light. And that's something that I talk to the players a lot about, is landing light is a way to land when you jump, because you don't want to do damage to your knees with the shock absorption. When you land, it goes right into the knees, and so the harder you land, the harder the shock absorption is and the worse it is on the knees. So right here we want to make sure that she's landing properly and landing where she's not really doing too much damage to her leg. So right here, as you can see, it's difficult with the jump soles to keep the balance, but she did a really good job, and as we progress she'll be better and better at that. So right here we doing the long skips, and it's really important when you're dealing with really tall players to teach them how to cover the ground. When you tall, you can't take really small steps and really small baby steps. I call them baby steps. I don't like when I see tall players taking baby steps. They really need to cover more ground and take giant steps is what I call them. So right here we working on that, taking giant steps and really learning how to use the length of her legs the right way, and then we ending it out with the sprints and the jump soles, which is really going to work those calves out and give her a really good workout in the calf muscle area. And so right here we know that we've already spent a good 10 minutes with the jump sole, so we really don't want to overdo it. So just the sprints is just enough. And then here we go with the jumping drill, and this drill right here is really hard and really exhausting. She's gonna go for about 30 seconds jumping continuously with the jump soles on, and it's really difficult to do this right here. So I know her calves are burning pretty bad at this point, but as you can see she's still jumping continuously. She's not trying to stop, and she's getting through this entire plyometrics warm-up, the beginning of her workout. So good job right there. And then the lastly we have the hurdles, which is really good for the vertical strength training once again, and also it helps the balance. So she's going to go through one-legged alternating legs and then go into the basket off a pass and then finishing. And as you can see right there, the jumping is really good, covering the ground and clearing those hurdles is really important. To focus on clearing those hurdles so that you don't hit one of the hurdles on your way jumping through the hurdle. So right here she's finishing pretty strong, coming right out of that and then finishing, which is really going to help. And then we took the jump soles off for this one as well. So as you can see, she has a lot more fluidity and a lot more movement right here and balance too without those jump soles on, which make it a little more difficult to jump off of one leg. So here she goes, finishing, making sure she's going right, left, jump stop right there, which is really critical. So this is a really tough workout. She's doing it, and she's doing it pretty good and pretty fast with her speed too. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to go into the ball handling portion. And as you guys can see in the top left corner, we're using these ball hog gloves, which is really important, especially for her age group. The high school age group is who I bought the ball hog gloves for. So I got the biggest size possible, because the younger players really don't need to be using the weighted gloves because they are still growing. So right here we're going to do what's called the circle dribbling, but we're going to do it in 30-second increments. So she's going to go 2 ball, pounding hard as she can. Right here I'm really emphasizing the pounding of the basketball, and make sure she pounds the ball. She's going to go for 30 seconds, and then we're going to go into the alternating and really focus on pounding that ball, especially when you got these ball hog gloves on. A lot of players have a tendency to tap the ball lightly and the type of light, and they really don't get the best ball handling skills when you do that, especially when you're going against defenders. The lighter you dribble the ball, the easier it is to defend. So when you are really tall, for example, it's best just to pound that basketball and hit the ground pretty hard, and defenders are going to tend to kind of step out of the way when you do that. So right here, as you can see, she's doing alternating, and then she's doing one high, one low, and then crossing over right here and just making sure she's pounding that ball. That's the main emphasis for the coaches. The coaches need to know, because right now we really need to get her ball handling skills high up, because you never know what position college coaches or even her high school coaches might want to shift her in. And I want her to be versatile and be ready, because they're not going to be expecting a player with her height to have such good ball handling skills. And now we're going into the cone drill, which is really important when you kick off of this right leg, and you kind of kick off the left leg and then stay low. So right now she's focusing on really staying down low, and the contact pad, we're using that right now to kind of help her get used to having somebody kind of ride her up and down the court and pushing her with the pad as she goes. And right now we're not doing the layup, we just really focusing on the dribbling part. And that's what I do a lot of times in the workouts, is just try to focus on one specific skill at the time instead of mixing it up, and that confuses players, and then players have to think about more than one technique at a time. So right now all she's doing is really just focusing on the ball handling. And now here we go when we want her focusing on the contact. So right here I'm standing out of the basket, getting that contact pad as she finishes. And at her age level, I really always like to hit the players that's in high school with the contact pad, because it's not going to be many layups that they actually take without contact or without defense on them. It's always going to be a defender, and it's always going to be contact on most of the high school shots for boys and girls. So it's a critical point. Once you get past 8th grade, you're going to see the contact pad every workout, especially for the players that's really looking D1 material. And right now she's looking like she's D1 material, something that coaches can really mold and work into as she develops. So right here we're focusing on staying low, and one of the key learning points in this workout, in this drill right here, is to touch the ground, and to touch the ground after you cross over. And that's a really good rule of thumb to use. So here she is working on shooting, and right now we're going to end the workout with shooting. And it's really good when you're working players out to kind of wear them out before you go into shooting. I always recommend that players do not come in the gym and then start working on shooting. That's a really bad habit, to start working on shooting as soon as you enter the gym, because in the course of a basketball game, you're going to get fatigued and you're going to get tired, and then all of a sudden you're going to be expected to shoot and to perform at the same level throughout the entire game, really, no matter how tired you are. So what I do is I tire the players out, and then by the end of their workout, then that's when they have to shoot. By the time that their muscles are kind of fatigued, and that when they're a little more tired than usual, then we want them to start focusing on the shooting. So she did a really good job, even being fatigued and doing all of those dribbling drills and jumping drills. Right here we got 100% shooting, where we have to make 100% of the shots right here in these 4 areas, and she does a really good job right there. And now we're going to do a 7-spot shooting drill, where she's stepping back after every shot, changing the distance. I kind of got this from Stephen Curry, really just changing the distance on each of the shots instead of standing in place. But we basically going 7-spot shooting and just changing the distance after every spot. And she's focusing really good right now on really being consistent with her shot and going right up. So no matter where she is on the floor, it's really important that players know, no matter how far you are from the basket, that you don't have to adjust your shot, you don't have to change your shot at all. And the players that do believe that they do have to adjust their shots, they're not good shooters, because they feel like they can't shoot the same form close in as to when they're at the 3-point line. Where if you watch Ray Allen, if you watch some of the best shooters in the NBA, you'll notice that no matter where they are on the floor, they never actually change their shot. So they can be shooting at the NBA 3-point line or shooting the mid-range shot, but the fundamentals and the shooting mechanics never actually change. So right here, she's doing a good job of doing that no matter where she is. making sure her shot is being consistent all the way through. And I was really impressed because she got through her shooting faster than most. So what we were doing was making 5 in all 7 spots because we only had about 8 to 10 minutes. And she ended up finishing that out in less than 5 minutes, which means that she shot well over 60% from the field goal. And the best shooters actually shoot about 50%. So top shooters, when they're doing workouts, are shooting about 50% in their workouts. So if she's shooting 60%, then that's a really, really good sign for coaches to actually see as she's focusing. And right here, we end the workout with shooting 10 free throws. And as you can see right here, she really approached it with a really great deal of focus and concentration. I was really impressed with that by the end of the workout. So good job.